So, g'day guys, welcome back to another video. Something a little bit different tonight. I've done something that I am just so ecstatic about that I had to share it. It's fantastic and I'm completely thrilled and over the moon. I was having a chat with my wife the other day and I said to her, I'd like to put up a floor-to-ceiling map of the Forgotten Realms into my D&D dungeon room. And she turned to me and said, I'm surprised you haven't done it already. So here we are, we've now done it. So let's show you, because it's pretty cool. Here is my wall without it. And the company I went through sent me a series of printouts that can basically be stuck to the wall and restuck, removed and replaced if you need to. And they come in panels and you join them up and eventually you end up with something like this. And I am so ecstatically happy with how it's turned out. So let's give a little bit of a quick show and tell.
So, I did a thing.
Sorry for the video quality, guys. I'm not a video guy. Doing this on a mobile phone. But as you can see, it's huge. And it's detailed. Huge thanks to Mike Schley for obviously the effort he puts into all of his maps. But his Forgotten Realms map is just fabulous for this because it's in high enough resolution that it works so perfectly. So very happy. You can, it just looks good.
And I'm very happy.
So just to talk about the process a little bit, obviously Mike Schley is where I got the map for anyone who wants to find a copy of it. It was very important to find a map that was high enough definition so that it could be stretched and still look completely okay. And obviously Mike Schley has done Forgotten Realm maps previously, and it's obviously just, I think that's the one there, Sword Coast. It was just one of the very few maps that I could find that was high enough definition to enable me to do this. I probably would have liked to have like the bigger 3.5e map that covers more of the world, but I couldn't find it in high enough definition. So Mike Schley's map was perfect, and I've always loved his style, so very happy to have that. If anyone wants to find his work, you can go to prints.mikeschley.com, and he does basically have maps there that you can obviously print off for your own personal use, once you buy it, of course. In this case here, I will say that I didn't use the original. If you do some Googling, there's some guys on Reddit who created the specific version that I've used. And what they've done is they've gone in and they've added additional roads and towns and paths and things like that. So I thought that was fantastic and really wanted to do that. The company I went through, Pickerwall.com. So it's an Australian company. Obviously, you can tell by my accent, I am Australian. These guys were fantastic. Basically, I just went here, clicked upload your own image, shot them an email with the dimensions that I was interested in. They sent me back a quote and it all went really, really well. So I was really quite happy with it. We did have some issues with the first print, I will say that, in that the alignment wasn't perfect. And if you actually have a look here, I'll bring this one back up. This is where I actually stopped. So this was the first printing, and they printed it off in 6 panels. And you can see up the top here that the alignment was just a little bit off. It was like 5 mil. But because obviously being a map, there's high lots of text. And if the text doesn't line up, it just doesn't look right. So I reached back out to the company, and within like 2 hours, they were back to me and said, oh, that's not good. That's not what we expected. Apologies. We're going to reprint it for you. We've had a thought about it. And they even said to me, they said, like, because there's so much text, we're going to reduce the text alignment issues by reducing the amount of pieces that we give you. So they printed it onto 3 larger panels. They did say that that would make it harder for us to put up, and they were certainly right. It meant that we needed 3 people to put it up instead of just the standard 2 people. But basically they printed it on 3, which reduced the amount of lines that I had, and ultimately we were able to obviously have a much bigger wall there with less lines, less joins. And if you have a look here, this is the new version, so you can see here that you can actually see where the join is. And I will say, like, you have to be up very close to this thing to actually see the join. So hats off to Pickleball. Their support was fantastic. They sent me another one for free. They sent it on expedited delivery, and it was like in my hands within a couple of days. They were fantastic the whole way, and obviously, you know, apologetic that the first print went wrong, but they just owned that mistake, and oh my god, did they pull it off. Because like, if we have a look here, here's another one of the join. Again, like, the join's going right there through the middle, but you can barely see it. It lines up perfectly, and I'm so happy. Here's another close-up just so you can see just sort of like the detail that's in it. Obviously, you know, you wouldn't want to stretch it too much further, I think, but it's handled it perfectly. And if you're standing next to this thing, you can clearly read all of the towns, all of the cities, all the locations, and it just looks fantastic. So I am very, 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 very happy right now. So I just want to say a huge, massive thanks to Pickleball. Fantastic. For anyone who's curious about cost, obviously this is an Australian, but I think I ended up paying, it was close to about $470, which for me was actually, like, I'm pretty happy to play that. The material that these guys use and the print quality is really just fantastic, right? It's I think they called it an opaque fabric. Like, it's not vinyl, but it's like a similar sort of construct in that you can put it on the wall and you can remove it and then you can put it on the wall again. So the amount of times that we had to reposition this thing, like if it was just a standard sticker, there is no way in hell it would have worked. Like, we got it wrong so many times. But because it was, you know, you can peel it back and put it back again, it was really sort of easy just to correct our issues and get it fixed. I will say that the best way for us to do this, in case anyone ever tries this, is we had one person on the left corner, one person on the right corner, and then one person down the bottom. So we put the first panel in on the left, just following the instructions they gave us. They said start to left to move right. Then over here there was a little bit of overlap, so you'd have one person here, and then we would basically hold the map down here so we could get it aligned with the text perfectly. I do not recommend you ever try doing this with just 2 people if that's what you're trying, because with 3 people it was just an absolute breeze, and it was just a lot easier. So yeah. Anyway, guys, so I just want to again say huge thanks to Pickleball. You guys were fantastic. Your support was on point. I was really happy with the price. And Mike Schley, like, mate, I love your work. Everything you do is just fantastic. So please keep making amazing maps for the D&D community. It's amazing. So anyway, without further ado, I'll certainly leave you there. I'm going to go back and have a look at my wall. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you on the forums.